Hey everyone, Crazy Jimmy here with a quick Vinyl Finds video, squeezing this bad boy in before dinner. So let's just jump right in. So today I've got a few to show you. This first one is Dave Rudolph, and it's called Folks. And it's in the shrink, so I'm but sorry for the glare, but I apologize for the glare. I'll try to compensate for it, but there's the cool private press label. Comes with a nice thick booklet as well in here. So yeah, really good acoustic, folk, rural sounding tunes on this one, and it's pretty cheap. Can be had for like $10. So don't wait on that. Jump all over it. Dave Rudolph, folks. Next up, got a twofer from this guy, Clifford Fry. This is his second album from 1984 called Dr. Fry's Texas Medicine. Right there. It's on Night Train Records. Here's the back. There. It's also in the shrink. But yeah, this is pretty good. What it reminds me of is like the Holy Modal Rounders. That's who it reminds me of, mainly because of the vocals, but also some of the the acoustic back porch guitar picking going on here. But it's the vocals that kind of bring to mind what Weber and is it Stample were doing with the Holy Modal Rounders. So this definitely brings to mind that. And then this is their Clifford's first one, Cliff Fry. Right there. This one's from, I think, 79 or 78. For the players of Night's Game. Clifford Fry, baby. Look at Cliff. Good old Cliff. Cliffy. This is my favorite one of the two. This one's phenomenal. Like, the one, his second album is okay. But this one has the replay value on it. A lot more variety. There's some ukulele, some piano, acoustic picking. Just, if you like that genre, then, this is a great private press to get, and they're not expensive, very much cheap heat. We're talking $20 at the most for a nice copy in the shrink like that. If you want to go VG, $5 to $10. Next up, this one here, Paul Major ranted and raved about it quite a while ago, but this is Paul Wayne Beach, On Down the Road and Back Home Again. It's got that generic sundial cover that you've seen, I'm sure, a million times on private pressings. There's the label. Pretty cool label. It's signed by Paul as well in the back. But yeah, this one here is lauded by Paul Major. It reminds me a little bit of Art Lown. Definitely got some country vibes, but there's no slide guitar, but it's got that back porch country vibe. There's a 11 minute instrumental on it as well that brings to mind like John Fahey's instrumental work. So, but this one is cool. It's even got a really good pop song on it. Not really pop, but kind of like something the Eagles would have done, but with like the background vocals, the call and response type vocals that Elvis Costello used to put to good use. And there's another guy. I don't know, but there's singles on this too that he did release as singles, believe it or not. So, but yeah, this is from 77. But yeah, definitely recommend that. That one's a little harder to find though. Next up, this is a double because I upgraded, and the only thing I upgraded really was the sleeve. They're both records are VG++. But this is John Glenn Ward, Focus, an important new writer, performer who deserves to be heard. So this is excellent acoustic rural goodness. And it's on this mega label, which is pretty cool. Let me flip it this way. Yeah. But yeah, if you anyone wants my spare, it's pretty cheap. Talking like $5. So, but definitely worth it. Next up, I wanted to show. I've been hugely into Little Feat lately, trying to get like their first 4 albums and getting the right copies. A lot of people don't realize there was olive green Warner Brother labeled pressings of these early records, and the reason they don't realize that is because mostly what you see are the palm tree labels. So Super, super rare. And this has got, there were 3 backs. The very original pressing with this olive green label, from what I was told, came with the band photo back and the lyrics insert, which is what this is. So there it is. And then they did another back with just a photo here and then some lyrics and then an all lyrics backing in later represses. So, but this is the one that, I really wanted, and you don't see it that often. So when it did pop up, I jumped on it, especially in the shrink, because usually these things, the dye they used for this blue always gets ring wear. So it was really cool to get this sweet near mint original, artisan press, beautiful sounding, love it. If you haven't heard Little Feat's early stuff, you need to. Obviously, most of you probably know Willing, which Linda Ronstadt redid and did a great job on it. But the original version of Willing is on this album here, and it's acoustic, all acoustic. And then he redid it for, I think, Sailing Shoes, the next album, with a full band. I love both versions. I think I showed this one the last video, Mark Levine on Hog Fat, so I'm going to pass by that one. Sorry. Here's one I did not show in the last one. John Lyons and the Blue Diamonds, Light in the Lowlands. This is a gem, an absolute gem. $10-15 you can have this for, and it's just fantastic. If you like Bob Dylan, then this is it's like a Bob Dylan album. It's like where Harding left off, but it's mostly all acoustic. It just reminded, there's 2 guitars going on. There's great interplay, great vocals. Yeah, it's not exactly a Dylan album, but he was definitely influenced by Dylan. And it's on TNT Records. This one is in the Acid Archives too, and it gets a great write-up. All right, next up, I don't think I showed this, but if I did, I'm going to show it again. I don't care. This is probably my best purchase of, I shouldn't say of 2025, but December. Best purchase in December. Private pressing, Hollins Ferry is the band on PC, Port City Records. Right there. And man, bands from Baltimore, obviously. This is like some of the best power pop I've heard. Some of the best 70s power pop. This was released in 77. Man, is this good. It rivals Big Star. I'm a huge Big Star fan. It's not as good as Big Star, but I would say this is similar to Radio City. And there's also shades of John Lennon and what he was doing with his solo work, and McCartney as well. The harmonies, the backing vocals, the lead vocals, everything about this is amazing. If you love great power pop, this private pressing is an absolute must, and it's cheap. It's not that expensive, so get it before it does go up. Next up, I think I showed this Bob McCarthy last time. I might not have, but Advice and Company. If I didn't, here it is. This is fantastic. It's on the Wanderer record label, private pressing. Thank you to New Hampshire Vintage Vinyl for this one up in Laconia, New Hampshire, and my buddy Mac. But hook me up with this. This is an upgrade from the one I have. I do have a double of it. I'm willing to sell cheap because it's the vinyl's not the best, and the sleeve is VG. So, but yeah, if you want a nice player of this, and not spend an arm and a leg on it, or not spend 40 plus, reach out to me. But this is great. Side one reminds me of a little bit of what John Fahey was doing, but with vocals. And there's a little bit of jazz guitar thrown in there for good measure. But side 2 is not like that. It's more rural and Americana sounding. So it's just, there's so much replay value here. What a great private press. And there weren't that many printed. I think only 500 pressed to that one. Next up, and I think this might be the last one, is Dean Steiding. I hope I don't mispronounce that. Take Me Back. Dean Steiding. STEI. Take Me Back. Look at that. That basically tells you what it's going to sound like right there. But yeah, it's a private pressing. Here's the cool black and silver label. It's on Eagle Records, which is owned by Guthrie Thomas. And Guthrie Thomas he did produce this, and I believe he plays a little on it as well. So yeah, this will remind you of Guthrie Thomas in his acoustic work. Definitely something I highly recommend, and more cheap heat, super cheap. But I think that is everything. Oh, nope, sorry. 3 more. Okay, 3 more. Apologize. All right. Next up, this is Billy Joe Shaver's first album, Old 5 and Dimers Like Me. Billy Joe on the Monument label. This is a second pressing. I need a first pressing of this, but I jumped on it because it was sealed. So a sealed second press, and it sounds phenomenal. But yeah, this is like Heartworn Highways-esque. Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Steve Earle, all in that neck of the woods right there. Steve Young. So great first album by Billy Joe. Next up, this is a double, so I am selling my other one, Link Wray. This is the third one from the Chicken Shack threefer that he did back in the early to mid 70s. But yeah, Link Wray, Fatback and Beans, right there. And yeah, if you like the Rolling Stones, I mean, you've got to hear this Link Wray album, Fatback and Beans. It's just, really gritty, Rolling Stones-esque sound to this album. And like I said, I do have another pressing of this, which is in great shape too. The vinyl is anyways, and it's the Colored Two Virgins label. So reach out if you're interested in that. And last but not least, I'm going to finish up on this bad boy. And I can't pronounce his name. Milton Nascimento and Borges. This is a classic Brazilian, like pop psych, folk, samba, tropicalia album. There's just everything here. And let me just pull these records out. This is the 5th press. Of course, I want a first press, but it's almost impossible to get at a reasonable price in near mint condition like these records are. The two kids on the front are not Milton and Borges. They're just two random kids that a photographer was driving by and saw them and liked it, took a picture, and Milton loved the photo and used it for the front cover. The story is that these two kids are now adults, and they were found, and they had no idea they were on a album cover from Brazil. So just amazing story. This is a gatefold as well. Let me just show you the gatefold. This is such a great album. I love Brazilian tropicalia, Brazilian pop, so from the 70s and 60s. So this was a must-have. But anyways, that's it. A quickie vinyl finds. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, please tell your friends. Crazy Jimmy out.